Hello everyone, today's topic is heart. Heart is a large, ovoid, thick-walled, muscular, powerful mesodermal pumping organ that forces the blood to circulate throughout the body. Among mammals, small species have relatively larger heart than larger forms. Heart is completely enclosed within a double-walled membrane, the pericardium, which is attached posteriorly with the diaphragm to keep it in position. The inner wall of pericardium, the visceral peritoneum, is fused with the heart and form the epicardium. Consists of three layers: epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. The narrow space between two layers, that is partial peritoneum and outer visceral peritoneum, is called pericardial cavity. The cavity is filled with coelomic fluid named pericardial fluid, which protect the heart from external shocks and jerks and also permit it to beat freely. When we talk about its external structure, the heart is of reddish color and consists of four chambers, two ventricles. The auricles are thin-walled, dark-colored, receiving chambered, and lie at the base of heart. It contrasts the ventricles are thick-walled, light-colored, forwarding chamber of the heart and lie towards its cone. There is a faint transfer auriculoventricular groove marking the demarcation between auricles and ventricle. The hind region of each auricle projects over the base of ventricle of its own side, called auricular appendage. The ventral side of the heart is a shallow interventricular groove that arises from the left side of the base of ventricles and end on the right side of the cone. It is clearly indicates that the two ventricles do not lie partial with each other like auricle, and one is twisted around the other. Internal structure of heart. The two auricles are separated from each other by an interauricular septum. This septum has a small oval depression, the fossa ovalis, marking the position of the fenestra and apparatus connecting the two auricles in embryonic stage. The fossa ovalis is surrounded by prominent reeds, the annulus ovalis. The inner surface of auricles is smooth except for a network of low reeds, the musculi pectinati, a region of auricular appendages. The right auricle receives three large veins, two precavals from the anterior region of the body and a postcaval from the hind region. There is present in between the two opening of precaval a flap-like eustachian valve, the remnant of sino-auricular valve. It guards to some extent the opening of postcaval vein. The right auricle also receives a coronary sinus from the wall of the heart and it's operated by Thebesian valve. The left auricle receives a pair of pulmonary veins from the lungs. The two pulmonary veins open into the auricle through a common apparatus and their common trunk is incorporated in the auricle wall. The auricles open into their respective ventricles through separate auriculoventricular apparatus. The left auriculoventricular apparatus is guarded by a bicuspid valve consist of two flaps. It is also called mitral because it closely resembles the cap of bishop. The left auriculoventricular apparatus is guarded by a tricuspid valve consist of three flaps. The free ends of bicuspids and tricuspids valve are lied to the nipple-like muscular projections, the papillary muscles of the ventricular valves by the white, tough, elastic ligament called chordotendinum. The ventricle are thick-walled chambers having an oblique interventricular septum. This septum is somewhat inclined towards the right, and the apex of the heart is included in the left ventricle. The left ventricle is bigger in size and more powerful because it has to drive the blood is systematic circulation covering almost the entire body of the animal. The right ventricle is concerned only with the pulmonary circulation covering a far shorter distance. The inner surface of ventricles is raised into longitudinal muscular ribs called columnae carinii. The pulmonary muscles receive chordotendae. In fact, are continuations of these reeds. There is complete separation of pulmonary and systematic circulation. The cardiosystematic aorta from the base of the left ventricle, and the pulmonary aorta arises from the base of the right ventricles. The mouth of each aorta is guarded by a set of semilunar valves. Branches of the cardiosystematic aorta form the arterial system that conducts oxygenated blood to different parts of the body, whereas the pulmonary aorta bifurcates into two pulmonary arteries that conducts deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the lungs. We talk about the working of the heart works by alternate contraction and relaxation called systoles and diastole respectively. All the deoxygenated impure blood is constantly poured by the two precaval and a postcaval into the right auricle. In the meantime, the left auricle receives pure oxygenated blood from the lungs through the pulmonary vein. When fully filled, the auricle undergoes simultaneous contractions and force blood into their respective ventricles. The left ventricle to receive pure blood, and the left auricle and the right ventricle receives impure blood from the right auricle. The treat of the blood from the auricles back into the veins is checked by steady onwards flow. Now undergo diastole to receive more blood from the veins. The ventricles also contract almost simultaneously, as a result of which the left ventricle pumps blood into the corticosystematic aorta to be distributed in the body through the arterial system. The right ventricle pumps impure blood into the pulmonary aorta, which conducts it into the lungs from oxygenation by the pulmonary arteries. After it becomes oxygenated, it returns to the left auricle through the pulmonary veins. Similarly, when arterial blood becomes deoxygenated in tissue capillaries, it returns to the right auricle through two precavals and a postcaval. The valves inside the heart serve to check the reserve flow of blood. Thank you for watching video.